Rossi wins again. Big shift in the overall standings. Maverick Vinales out of the race, just fell off his bike. And as before this race, Vinales was leading. I think he's leading still, but there was like a 25-point gap between Vinales and Rossi, and now it's like a few points. And you could see from Valentino's emotions that this was not just a race win. This was a race win after he fell and didn't finish in the last race, and after a couple of races where he wasn't doing really well. And Rossi always is paying a lot of attention to the overall standings and how he's doing in the championship, and he knew that as soon as he knew that Vinales was out, this victory was, really special for him. And you could see it like from the victory lap and all these wheelies, and he was really taking his time and enjoying winning. And again, in this race, we could see that the rule changes that were introduced in 2016, I think, had great effect, because the satellite teams, the non-factory teams, were again doing really well. And Petrucci, in I think last year's Ducati, was running with the top 3 group throughout the race, not just in wet, because this race was with changing conditions. It was first dry, and then it started to rain a little bit, and the pit crew were readying the rain bikes, and few guys decided to go for the rain bikes and effectively lost their chances. And one of those guys was Johan Zarco, who actually got the pole position for this race, which is again a satellite team doing great, running with the fastest factory teams, and not for the first time this year. Towards the tail end of the race, there was a very exciting battle, not just for the first place, but also for the last podium spot. For the first place, it was between Rossi and Petrucci, 2 Italians, and full credit to Rossi, because leading in weather conditions like this takes a lot of skill, a lot of courage, because you don't have a point of reference. If you see a bike in front of you and it's changing / wet conditions, then you can at least use the rider in front as point of reference. Like if he could enter this turn at X kilometers per hour and he didn't fall, then I suppose I can do the same. So it's easier to follow than to lead in these conditions. And for the third place, it was a 3-way battle between Marc Marquez, Dovizioso, and I think Karl Crutchlow joined it as well. Crutchlow is really a very brave rider. As soon as it gets rainy, it gets slippery, he just goes like, "Fuck you guys, I don't care." Full attack. No, he's absolutely fearless, and you can see it from how many crashes he's had in his career and the last couple of years. It's either he outperforms all the expectations or he just crashes. I think he should be his nickname should be like Cal Crashlove, because he really loves to crash. He's not afraid to crash, and that I think that's a positive attribute of a Grand Prix motorcycle racer. And I think his team and his previous team and his whatever team he will be going to next will really appreciate that, because I think, I'm not sure which team, but I think there are rumors of Cal changing teams for next year, but he's definitely not leaving MotoGP because he's fast. You could fault him for not being consistent and so on, but the main thing is that winning races. Nobody remembers who is 5th or 6th or 10th. We only remember winners, and only the winners make the news and make the headlines. So a fast rider, even though he's not as consistent as you would like, is still a great asset for any team. But yeah, as far as this race, really it shifted the balance at the overall standings. It brought Rossi back into contention, although I still think it will be really a tall order to expect him to beat Vinales over and over throughout the rest of the season. But at least they are all still on the level playing field right now, and the differences in top 4 are very, very slim as far as points, and that's great. That's really what we need.